spotted. And so that's when you need to take action and get to your safe place. And then the big thing here is what we call a tornado emergency. And when a tornado emergency is issued, that means a confirmed tornado is on the ground, and that is the highest level. That is even above the tornado warning. Let's hope we don't get any of those tonight. The main threat from these storms, again, is going to continue to be some very gusty winds pushing through the area tonight. So I want to show you again, give you a recap of what we have going on right now. We basically have severe thunderstorm warnings that enter effect for most of southeastern Indiana. So Fayette, Union County, Franklin County, Ripley County, Dearborn County, and a good chunk of Ohio County under a severe thunderstorm warning now. And this does extend over into southeastern Hamilton County and into the western half of Boone County, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect. These severe thunderstorms have been moving from areas west of us and producing wind damage and hail out there into our viewing area. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail is going to be what we see with these storms as they move across portions of the tri-state. So we look at this storm one more time, coming across Ripley County. There it is. And we're going to give you a track for the southern part of this warning. So around 7:59 here at Dewberry, Farmers Retreat, 8:02, Dillsboro 8:06, Mount Sinai 8:11, Cochrane around 8:15, Guilford 8:19, Lawrenceburg 8:20, and Hidden Valley, this storm arrives around 8:23. Again, winds to 60 miles an hour, the possibility of hail up to 1 inch in diameter for that storm. Okay, let's concentrate on the one to the north of that right now. This one, again, is moving out of Decatur County, where we've had a tornado warning that is going to be set to expire here. They'll probably bring that down a little early. Yeah, based on what I'm seeing here. That will be coming to an end, I think, here shortly for Decatur County. Just outside of our viewing area, though, we track this storm as it moves, again, across Franklin County here. So Oldenburg, Sunman in the path of this storm between 7:59 and 8:03, Metamora 8:07, Highland Center around 8:11, Brookville 8:13, Cedar Grove right around 8:15, Mount Carmel, Indiana 8:21, and Raymond around 8:24. That, again, a severe thunderstorm warning, winds to 60 miles an hour, the possibility of hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And you can see the worst of that storm still back here around Slabtown. They're just to the southeast of Greensburg, Indiana now, but that's going to carry itself up there into Franklin County. So we're getting these clusters of storms coming through right now. Thankfully, at this point, they're warning on winds to 60, nothing higher than that. We have seen some circulations with these storms, but it looks like, again, this is going to be a marginal wind threat and extremely heavy rain threat as it moves up here through portions of southeastern Indiana. Now back to the west. I've had my eye on this supercell thunderstorm. This thing has been rotating like crazy, and it is impacting areas between Nashville and Columbus, Indiana, just outside of our viewing area right now. And you can see the circulation with this. That's where they have a tornado warning currently in effect. That storm is moving pretty much due east behind the rest of these storms. So that one is rotating. That one probably has the strongest rotation that we're seeing right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that storm as it continues to carry off to the east here. Eventually, that one could impact parts of southeastern Indiana, and that is a supercell or rotating thunderstorm, which definitely has our attention as these thunderstorms continue to push across the greater Cincinnati area. But as of now, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Fayette, Union, Franklin County, Ripley County, Dearborn County, down into Ohio County, a small sliver of Hamilton County, and portions of western Boone County under a severe thunderstorm warning. A tornado watch is in effect. So this is something we need to keep a close eye on, because oftentimes with these severe thunderstorms, you can sometimes get these spin up tornadoes that occur. And it looks like, and again, this is some good news, the tornado possible tag has been taken off of this storm now that is moving across parts of southeast Indiana. So the rotation coming down, and it's moving out of the tornado warning there. So that is good news that they have not continued the tornado warning, first of all. Second of all, there's no tornado possible tag on that storm right now. So a little bit of good news here with these storms. The tornado warnings that are in effect are just outside of our viewing area. And, you know, looking at this, Eric, I don't know if you would agree with me. It looks like, at least right now, with this particular line of storms, the initial wave, that the circulations are coming down a little bit as they move in our general direction.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just watching here, John, over the last, say, 15 minutes or so. Some really concerning news for folks just near and around the Indianapolis area, near Columbus, Indiana. It really points west. There were several confirmed tornadoes, I believe in Greene County, Indiana. There were extensive damage from those as well. So, you know, that concern is that, of course, we would start to see some of that move its way in. Still seeing that confirmed tornado right there in Columbus, Indiana as well. And that's moving right around 50 to 55 miles per hour to the east. So that will be something that we are certainly going to be watching here over the coming hours or so. But definitely that weakening trend. I was watching that kind of all evening. And really kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, in that, of course, what we did see earlier, we didn't see that much sunshine this afternoon, only a couple hours. So that certainly helped us out. It was pretty much a cloudy day across the entire region, especially for folks off to the south. And look at what's happening there now, south Cincinnati, where we saw storms earlier. No tornado warnings, at least in our viewing area down there. So that certainly is working in our favor at this point. Now, one other note, though, as I said earlier, too, again, if you don't see a tornado, certainly that's good news, but we are kind of seeing these storms, even in the last maybe 1 to 2 hours, sort of congeal into one solid line or really wall of storms. And look at how messy this is, how many lightning strikes this is. I just checked, around 300 to 370 lightning strikes in this general vicinity here in the last 15 minutes. But notice how all these supercells across the area now coming more so and forming that line. So that main thread is going to be damaging wind. And as we saw, you know, last time we had that moderate risk of severe weather in early April, we saw just from the damaging straight line winds, gusts to 80 miles per hour. That, of course, is going to be our big concern here, whether or not we actually see a tornado or not. But John, as you mentioned, we are seeing that weakening trend, and even watching the National Weather Service chat as well. Yeah. They are just going to resolve it with a special weather statement, more so towards Dayton's viewing area. So starting to at least kind of play into that weakening trend a little bit. It's those single cells, and actually even south of Cincinnati, we've got to keep our eyes on here. Yeah. Towards the VV, Versailles area. Be watching those for any rotation on those guys as well, because there's still some really intense rain rates with some of these storms moving through the tri-state.
They just went with a tornado warning here for this cell. So I'm going to show you this one right here. There it is. Yeah, right around the Batesville area. We got a spin up trying to occur between Batesville and Oldenburg. So this is a brand new tornado warning. Right here is where we are seeing the rotation on the storm. So brand new tornado warning. I'm going to put a circle on where this rotation is. So right here where Franklin County and Ripley County come together, right on the county line, a possible tornado right now. This is a tornado warning that is going to go until 8:30 tonight. This does cover parts of southern Franklin County, northeastern Ripley County, and northern Dearborn County. So that was the same storm that we had been keeping an eye on, and the atmosphere is such that we could see these spin-up tornadoes happen tonight. This tornado, this possible tornado here, is moving, it looks like we get a forward speed 45 miles an hour on this thing, okay? So let me give you a track of this possible tornado here. Brand new tornado warning. Again, it's right here on the Ripley-Franklin County line where we could have a possible tornado. So take a look at this. Young's Corner around 8:14, Highland Center around 8:18, Mount Haven 8:21, Cedar Grove 8:23, Palestine 8:25, Mount Carmel and Mount Carmel School 8:27 to 8:28. So if you are in these locations, You know the deal. It's been an active spring. Get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, that is the best place to be. And you get to the middle of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado impacting parts of northern Ripley County, northern Dearborn County, and southern Franklin County, where we have a tornado warning now in effect until 8:30 this evening. There's a look at that storm. Yeah, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning and circulation back here between Batesville and Oldenburg that we're seeing right now. So that is the circulation that has us concerned. I'm going to take away everything here except for the polygon itself, so you can see the locations impacted. It makes it a little bit easier. So Sunman, Indiana, Batesville, Indiana, Lawrenceville, Indiana, Oak Forest, Brookville under this tornado warning. St. Leon, you're included. Cedar Grove, you're included. Mount Carmel, Indiana, and Druersburg, Indiana, all included in this tornado warning. This is the first tornado warning for our viewing area of the evening. Is going to run until 8:30 tonight. And there's another look at that tornado warning polygon. Hail up to 1.25 inches in diameter possible with this storm, impacting just over 14,000 of our friends and neighbors here across northern Ripley County, northern Dearborn County. So if you are in these counties, get to the lowest level of your home. You want to get to the center of your house, the lowest floor possible. Stay away from windows, obviously. And, protect your head, too. If things should get kind of crazy, that's what you need to do. If you have a bicycle helmet or pillets, blankets, just have them handy close by. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. That is the good news. We're not seeing any confirmation of a tornado, but we are seeing rotation coming out of the storm right now. I could take a look. I'm going to look at a different mode on the radar here and see if we're seeing any lowering of the CC. And nope, not really. Nothing there right now that we're concerned with as far as a confirmed tornado. They've gone ahead and issued a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This one covers all of Butler County, it looks like, if not most of Butler County. So let me take the radar back off, the lightning back off. Yeah, there it is. That is a new severe thunderstorm warning. Covers, looks like all of Butler County, Montgomery, and Preble County, too. That is for 60-mile-an-hour winds and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. 386,000 folks under this brand new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 9 o'clock. Butler and then Montgomery and Preble County up to the north. And that's for the same exact storm there, it looks like. So this particular storm is moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So let me give you a track on this one as it, again, moves across Butler County. We'll give you an idea of where it's headed here. Morgan Township around 8:12, Oxford 8:13, Hanover Township 8:19, Collinsville 8:21, New Miami at 8:25, Jacksonburg 8:28, Westchester 8:33, Monroe around 8:35. The time of arrival for this brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Winds to 60 miles an hour possible with this storm. Hail again up to perhaps 1 inch in diameter, which is not as big as what we've seen off to the west of our area. We've seen some hail that's been over 2 inches in diameter off to the west. So that is at least some good news. But if you're in Butler County, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning here that is going to go until 9 o'clock for this cell that's racing in from the southwest now. Radar indicated there 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible along that line of storms. We're concentrating, though, on the tornado warning that continues for northern parts of Ripley, northern Dearborn County, and the southeastern part of Franklin County until 8:30. Coming back to that circulation, taking a look at it, and it looks like, again, the circulation may be elongating a little bit here, but it looks like it's approaching. It's kind of broad now, approaching Young's Corner, Oak Forest. So this is the area where we're seeing that circulation now that has prompted this tornado warning. Doppler radar indicated So coming up through these locations here, so if you're in and around these locations, just get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, go there and wait this thing out. Young's Corner right there where the circulation is. Clem's Corner around 819, Mount Haven 821, Cedar Grove right around 823, the time of arrival, and Palestine around 825, Mount Carmel School 827 to 829 there for a Doppler radar indicated tornado. So this is the first tornado warning of the night. It is Doppler radar indicated. We do not have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground, but that, my friends, has been concerning enough. And the way the atmosphere is tonight, we've got so much wind shear or turning of winds with height in the atmosphere that this could, really spin up tornadoes out of any of these storms tonight as they move across the area. So that's something we're going to keep in mind. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just out of our viewing area, I want to take a look at this because this supercell eventually is going to get into our viewing area. So this is near Columbus, Indiana right now. This is a radar indicated tornado. So it looks like we've probably got a debris. Oh yeah, we got a debris signature there. So this is our mode of radar that can see debris. And when we get to the green, especially the blue colors, that is the radar seeing different sized objects that are being lofted into the air here. So this is just outside of our viewing area, but I mean, this supercell is going to make a beeline, across portions of Bartholomew County, eventually Decatur County, and eventually it's going to clip our counties if it holds together. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground right now, right on the, it looks like the Brown County, Bartholomew County line here. This is just to the west of Columbus, Indiana, just to the east of Nashville. If you're familiar with Indiana 46, a gorgeous stretch of roadway coming out here through Indiana. And that is where we have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. This is just outside of our viewing area, the National Weather Service in Indianapolis handling that. But yeah, that is bad news right there. That is a confirmed tornado just back to the west of Columbus, Indiana now. So, and I'm looking for a forward speed on this one right now. I'm going to take a look at this because I'm curious how long it's going to take the threat. 45. Okay, so it's about the same as the others. Yeah. So I want to do a track on this one, even though it's outside of our viewing area, just to give folks an idea. And again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. So I'm going to carry this out into Decatur County if it holds together. So there we are, Columbus, Indiana around 821, Hall Creek in Decatur County around 834, Sand Creek 847, Greensburg 854. And then into our viewing area closer to 9 o'clock in Millhausen if it holds together. We're going to have to watch this because we got some data there, so that just changed. So yeah, about the same time, Puget Township just past 9 o'clock. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. That supercell thunderstorm there, just outside of our viewing area, with a confirmed tornado on the ground. So when you see this polygon go to purple, that means it's confirmed. When you've got the stripes here, that means it's a considerable threat. So that's what we have going on right now. Again, just outside of our viewing area, that is a supercell thunderstorm that is right over Columbus, Indiana now. So I just want to give you an idea of where this is in relation to Cincinnati. Here we are in Cincinnati. Here's that storm with a confirmed tornado on the ground, moving out of Bartholomew County, Indiana, eventually pushing over toward Decatur County. Could it clip northern Ripley County, southwestern Franklin County eventually? Yeah. Let's hope it weakens before it gets there. But yeah, that's one we're going to keep an eye on. For now, we come back to our tornado warning that is in our viewing area here. And this tornado warning for Dearborn, Franklin, Ripley County. It's the northeastern section of Ripley now, the northern section of Dearborn, and the southwestern half of Franklin County that has a tornado warning that is going to go here until 8:30 this evening. Inch and a quarter size hail, the possibility of a tornado with this. And again, looking at this, it looks like a pretty broad circulation lifting through here. So I'm gonna put the marker on it again. Give you an idea. It looks like kind of a broad circulation right in this area here. So as we kind of pinpoint where this might go to take it down a little farther, Oak Tree Crossroads around 817, Little Cedar Grove Church 819, Mount Haven 819, Palestine 824, Mount Carmel 827, Wesley Chapel 827. Some of the places that our radar software is spitting out here. This is not a confirmed tornado, unlike the one that's just outside of our viewing area. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado now that has prompted this tornado warning. And we're going to get rid of everything here to give you an idea of, again, where that tornado warning polygon is located. So from Raymond down to Mount Carmel, Indiana, right down to Drewsburg, Indiana, St. Leon, Lawrenceville, Cedar Grove, Brookville on the edge of this, Oak Forest right there on the edge of this too. Doppler radar indicated tornado with this storm. And it looks like we just got another one for Fayette County, Indiana. So, yep, oh yeah, there it is. Brand new tornado warning, Fayette County, Indiana. This is going to affect the Connorsville area. So there it is. Fayette, Wayne County, Indiana, also impacted by this. This is going to go until 8:45. So that is a brand new tornado warning for Fayette County, Indiana, carries up into Wayne County, Indiana, too. They just issued that. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado until 8:45. This one moving at around 40 miles an hour. So let's come in a little tighter. Yeah, right here, southwest of Connorsville is what we're concerned with. So we'll circle this circulation right here, southwest of Connorsville, Indiana. And again, moving at 45 miles an hour with this particular circulation. So Maplewood Elementary School around 826, Harrisburg 827, Huber 829, Meadowfield 830, Beeson's around 832. So this is coming through Fayette County, Indiana. It's going to continue to lift up to the north into Wayne County. That is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. So if you're in these locations here, and I want to give kind of a bigger track on this one too, because the circulation's kind of broad here. If you're in those locations, that's where you have the best chance of getting this circulation impacting you. Into the Connorsville area here around 824, Fayette Memorial Hospital at around 825, Harrisburg 827, again, Meadowfield 829, and Beeson's around 831. So in those spots, get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, go there. Get to the middle portion of your home. If you don't have a basement, the lowest floor of your home, a room in the middle of your house without windows, like a closet or a bathroom, the best place to be until this storm passes. Doppler radar indicated tornado warning for Fayette County, Indiana, also now into Wayne County, Indiana. And again, this particular tornado warning up here is going to run until 8:45 p.m. So that is the second tornado warning on the board. Okay, good. It looks like back here around Columbus, they've gone to the standard radar indicated tornado. So the debris signature has gone away, indicating the tornado is likely lifted now as it moves across Columbus, Indiana. So yeah, the tornado's lifted, but the storm's still rotating. So it could produce another one. So that's why they have a tornado warning that continues there. But it's the red polygon now, which indicates again that that is a radar indicated tornado that we're seeing. We have storms now getting, and this storm is kind of dying out, it looks like. into Ripley County, coming into Dearborn in Ohio County. I don't mind seeing that. That is some good news. That warning did include the southeastern section of Hamilton County and the western part of Boone County. But it looks like that storm is coming down fast as it approaches Aurora, Indiana. That is good. Let's see what we can see as far as velocities on this right now. And it looks like this one is coming down quite a bit. We still are picking up 62-mile-an-hour winds. But again, those winds are above the ground surface. Let me see if I can get a little better view of this thing from a radar standpoint. And this might give us, yeah, so the winds are aloft there coming through here. They're going to be a lot lower at the ground. Yeah, they're nothing at ground level here. So those winds are aloft. So that storm's coming down quick. And that is good news. Officially, there's still a severe thunderstorm warning there that's going to go until 8:45 for Dearborn, Ohio, Ripley County, a little section of Boone, a little section of Hamilton County. But that storm that's pretty much over the Dillsboro area now is coming down fast. And we love to see that. Love to see that. Want to show you our tower cam right now. There's a live look at things. Pointed back to the west here, looking from Covington. Back across the Ohio River here, and you can see we've got some stormy weather coming in from the west with some rain coming into downtown Cincinnati, but no immediate severe threat to downtown Cincinnati. We have some rain coming through right now. Nothing that is severe for downtown Cincinnati because this storm is basically running out of gas right now. But we have to keep an eye on it. It's got that little kidney bean shape, Eric, with all the shear in the atmosphere there. So we'll keep an eye on these things. Even if they look like they're coming down, sometimes they can regenerate. So we need to watch that. Again, 2 tornado warnings that are currently in effect for the local 12 News viewing area. One here for Franklin County. It looks like they've given the all clear there. Yep, the all clear for Ripley County, northern Ripley County, and northern Dearborn County. So you folks in the all clear from the tornado warning because this circulation is lifting up very close to Brookville, Cedar Grove, Mount Carmel right now, coming a little tighter. And yeah, this is where we're seeing that circulation. Right around Mount Haven. So this is the spot here. If we're going to have a tornado, that's where it's going to be. So if you're in Mount Carmel, I hope you're already in your safe spot, Mount Carmel, Indiana, as that circulation continues to move a little closer to you as we just get the latest radar scan there. So right around 252 is where we have this circulation approaching into Mount Carmel, Indiana now, where you are under a tornado warning. So get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, obviously go there. And if you don't have a basement, a closet, a bathroom in the middle of your house on the lowest floor is going to be your best bet there into Franklin County. Again, just Brookville, you're technically in this warning, so I want you in your safe spot in Brookville as well. But it looks like that circulation a little closer to Mount Carmel, Indiana, there in Franklin County. So that is where we're seeing that circulation. Let's put another track on this one. As it slides off to the east here, it's been moving at about 45 miles an hour. So over Mount Carmel, eventually, the circulation may make its way up into western parts of Butler County. So we're going to watch that and see if they extend that with a tornado warning or if they just keep the severe thunderstorm warning. You folks are under a severe thunderstorm warning, but again, Mount Carmel is where the circulation is. Peoria around 832. Wendell Farms, corn, maize, and pumpkin patch. We're learning new places. 832 there. Newkirk 834, and Indian Creek Pioneer Church right around 836, the arrival time for you with that storm. So those are the spots that we watch. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. I want to come in a little closer. And yeah, so right here along 252, coming up to Riley Pike, Peoria. These are the spots here where there is a possible tornado now. So make sure you get to your safe place right now as we keep an eye on this, this possible tornado moving across Franklin County, Indiana. We come back to the regular radar mode there. Yeah, and that storm, again, these storms are thankfully looking pretty ragged now as they come into the area. So that is at least a little bit of good news. We got storms now entering Hamilton County into Greene Township. Nothing severe over Greene Township or Cleves. The severe thunderstorm warning that's southwest of you, that storm continues to weaken. And I'm surprised that we still have the warning on that. It's set to expire at 8:45. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. But that storm continues to weaken right now as it moves into the Aurora, Indiana area. Again, some storms are rolling through Hamilton County right now. Thankfully, at this juncture, nothing that is severe coming into Hamilton County, but we continue to see the severe thunderstorm warnings up here for Butler County. That is going to run until 9 o'clock, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. Some big thunder moving there through Oxford, through Riley Township, through Morgan Township, which makes me think, let's take a look at the Oxford camera right now and see, yeah, here's a live view from Oxford right now as that storm is moving through Butler County. So in Oxford right now, yeah, a lot of lightning. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning there in Butler County that is going to go until 9 o'clock this evening. So that's the live view from downtown Oxford, where skies are dark, the lightning is flashing, and we're seeing a severe thunderstorm beginning to enter that section of Butler County tonight. So just be on the lookout, get indoors, stay away from windows, wait for that storm to pass, because the lightning, people discount how dangerous the lightning can be. We've got 60-mile-an-hour winds, the possibility of 1-inch hail, but the lightning, very dangerous if you're outdoors right now. So Oxford into Riley Township, where we continue, again, to see a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm looking at the lightning, too, with these storms. I'm going to kind of zoom out and take a look at that right now. And we're starting to hear the thunder here at our studios in Mount Auburn. So we've been seeing the lightning strikes bounce between around 300 and 400 or 500 at times. Right now, it looks like in the past 15 minutes, we're just over 300 lightning strikes with this cluster of storms that is moving through the area. So you can see it kind of bouncing around here as we get the lightning nearly in real time across your screen here. There's a couple second delay, that's about it. But yeah, 340 strikes here over the last 15 minutes with these clusters of storms that continue to move across the greater Cincinnati area tonight. Again, if you're just joining us, we have one tornado warning for Franklin County. They have not extended this in the Butler County. It looks like that circulation is beginning to push out of that tornado warning, and it looks like they just let it go. Yep, I believe they just expired that tornado warning. So that is some good news. Up here into the Connorsville area, that tornado warning has also been allowed to expire. So some more good news with these storms as they're pushing across the area tonight. Well, I want to take everything off, give you kind of a reset of what's going on right now. We've got this initial cluster of storms that's moving from Cincinnati to points north and west tonight. There's likely going to be some more storms later on tonight as this line evolves and moves into a pretty unstable air mass tonight. But you can see the storms that are moving through right now. Several spots around the tri-state under severe thunderstorm warnings. The tornado warnings for the moment are gone. Thank goodness. The one there for Decatur County and Bartholomew County continues just outside of our viewing area, but Fayette, Union County, Franklin County, Butler County, now under severe thunderstorm warnings. So you folks have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We'll come in a little tighter here. You'll see the one for Butler is going to go until 9 o'clock. And yeah, that's the only one right there. Okay, so it's for Northwest Franklin, Butler County, and Fayette County. That is going to go until 9, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail possible with that storm. And then back off to the south. Yes, they have allowed that warning that was southwest of Cincinnati to expire, with that storm again kind of falling apart. Thank goodness, as it approaches Lawrenceburg and Aurora, Indiana, there coming through. So nothing severe there. This storm still that's moving into Decatur County, Indiana, still has a tornado warning on it. This did produce a tornado back to the west of Columbus. We had radar confirmation on that a little bit earlier, but it looks like, again, that storm is losing some of its organization tonight. It's losing some of its organization. So that is some good news. Good news there tonight. So the latest severe thunderstorm warning, again, is for sections of Fayette County and Union County. That's going to run until 8:45. So that's just up here to the north, and that's this storm that's right around the Connorsville area, 8:45. The expiration on this severe thunderstorm warning, Fayette, Union, Wayne County, just outside of our viewing area, also is included in that warning. This one's moving a little slower at around 35 miles an hour. So we can give you a track on this one as it's moving through tonight. And there's a look at where this one is going to head. Quinta Elementary School, Brownsville, Yankeetown between 8:33 and 8:40. Abington around 8:43. Liberty, that should say 8:45. And Union County High School around 8:46. So winds to 60, 1-inch hail are going to be possible with that storm up there in the Fayette County and into Union County, Indiana. And it looks like off to the west, we got another line here developing back here around Indianapolis down to just northwest of Bloomington, where there is another tornado warning that is in effect. So we've got kind of a split going on here with one cluster going north of Cincinnati, another cluster coming just south of our viewing area there. That's just south of Owen County right now. And I want to kind of give you a bigger view of what's going on right now, so you can see these storms, this first cluster coming through. But there are more, unfortunately, that are lined up back here across southern Indiana, southern Illinois, western Kentucky. So we're going to have to watch the evolution of these storms. I'm hopeful those will dive down to the south of Cincinnati tonight as this whole thing evolves tonight. But that's what we're going to have to watch. And again, I hope they favor more the middle of this moderate risk tonight, where conditions are better for severe weather. Again, we're between a 3 and 4 around here. Let's look at our latest modeling here that shows that first cluster, again, moving through. And the model here, it looks to me, Eric, like it's kind of overdoing the amount of intensity of some of those storms. But notice we're not quite done, because some of those other storms may clip the southern part of our viewing area by 10, 11 o'clock. And then it looks like by midnight, pretty much everything is going to be moving out of the picture here. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. What do you got over there? You got something to show us?
Absolutely. You know, some of the why this was so difficult too. Yesterday we were in a slight risk, or 2 out of 5 for severe weather, but we were talking about the atmospheric cap, where we had the warm air at the surface, but we had the warm air aloft too, and that is not good for storm development, which actually, at the end of the day, won out. Today, not so much. We do have cold air aloft, which of course you need that big divide to see some of these thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms to fire up. So have seen a big outbreak of tornadoes, thankfully not in the tri-state, but really just a little bit too close for comfort, if you ask me. So this is actually from our very own Paul Petit shared this photo here. This is, yeah, I know, right? I thought he was on vacation.
Tornado chasing?
I don't know, but he was on vacation, so he's always working. But this was taken out west in Greene County, State Route 37, just south of I-69, where he shared this. And of course, there's actually been quite a bit of damage out there as well. And then, as I was mentioning, out towards Columbus, Indiana, we started to see that confirmed tornado on the ground, which was very concerning, because we saw several of these confirmed tornadoes all through western parts of Indiana, south central rather, just south of the Indianapolis metro area. But look at all these tornado icons there. That was very concerning, because those were those purple polygons that were all confirmed there on the ground, and has pretty much considerable damage there. But tracking that out was our main concern, at least going into our northwest counties, going really right for Hamilton, if that trajectory maintained, if those tornadoes maintained their current path there. So thankfully we are starting to see that deterioration process take place. Obviously we have to watch some of these storms for that rotation. As I mentioned, though, in the last maybe couple hours or so, you do want to see those storms form a line, because that will generally indicate at least those less, say, severe tornadoes, or certainly those less strong ones. You could also see some of those within that line, but generally they're going to be a little bit weaker tornadoes, which actually we saw multiple times in April, those EF0 to EF1 tornadoes there. But all good news here as we go into, especially north of Cincinnati. And one of those other points that I mentioned earlier, again, that instability perhaps wasn't there, as much as we thought that it could have been. All the ingredients certainly were there, but then this morning's storms played with some of the conditions that we're seeing now, of course, in a very favorable way for us. Whereas you take that out west, they didn't have that. They saw several hours more of sunshine, and that really did not work to their favor. So we are showing a live camera here over downtown Cincinnati, over the Ohio River. You can hear some of the thunder in the backdrop here. At first, it was just the Reds celebrating, but at least now we're seeing some of that actually come in here to the tri-state. So here's our current watches and warnings that we have for the region. Want to give John Gump just a little bit of a breather here. He's been going for quite some time. Of course,
go ahead and give an overview of the watches and warnings.
He's naturally very, very long-winded. But look at this. As far as all our counties in yellow indicate a tornado watch, much better picture. You don't want to see these dark purple polygons there south of Evansville, and we're just seeing that kind of deteriorate as well. Still watching some of these off to the west, but as they run into the less favorable environment, that's going to mean at least a less chance of a tornado forming for us here in the tri-state. But we are not over with yet. But overall, John, I think we're doing fairly well, at least in the tri-state, not so much to our west.
Yeah, Ripley County Emergency Management is reporting the Indiana Department of Transportation station here near Penntown, Indiana, reported a 74-mile-an-hour peak wind gust here. So that is fascinating, too, because that's right where that circulation was running through a little bit earlier with the tornado warning. So could we have had a little tornado drop there? It is absolutely not out of the realm of possibility that we may have had a small tornado drop there. But again, right now, the warning that we have in effect includes Butler County. That's going to go until 9 o'clock, 60-mile-an-hour winds possible with this storm. And I want to kind of give a track of this one as it's coming through Butler County right now. Winds to 60 possible. It's eventually going to get its way over into Warren County. And I don't know if they'll extend that warning or not, but West Elkton, Westchester between 842, 847, Monroe around 854, Carlisle 901, Miamisburg 908, Lebanon 909, Washington Township 917, and Waynesville around 921. Is the estimated time of arrival of those thunderstorms that are moving through Butler County now that have prompted, again, a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Butler County. That is going to run until 9 o'clock this evening. Looks like they do have Fayette County and parts of Franklin County still technically in that severe thunderstorm warning. But the worst of those storms have moved out of those counties. So that is the good news. Back into Metro Cincinnati, boy, oh boy. We've got some thunderstorms, but nothing that is horribly severe moving through. Some big storms rolling up near the Sharonville area, moving through Reading, moving toward Loveland, clipping the Milford area. That's going to continue to work its way up into Warren County, lifting up into the Mason area. Now, no warnings for those, at least not the ones in Hamilton County. The one in Butler County technically has a warning. But again, let's give you kind of a storm track on these as they lift from northeastern Hamilton County, clipping Claremont, coming into Warren County here. So Loveland around 841, Mason 846, Monroe right around 848, Middletown 852, Butlerville 857, Lebanon 859, 905 in Springboro, and in Clear Creek Township 907, the arrival time of those strong storms as they continue to lift up to the north and east. And, the way the atmosphere is, we just need to keep an eye on these for any possible spin-ups that may occur with these storms as they continue to lift through. But this cluster is going to get out of here, probably it looks like within the next hour or so as it lifts up through Warren and Clinton County. That supercell storm that had the confirmed tornado, look at that, near Columbus. Look what this thing did. I mean, it was producing a tornado back here, and it's just kind of falling apart now as it moves through Decatur County. So no more warning with that. So we were concerned again for Ripley County, Franklin County. That storm is falling apart. That is fantastic news, because that one is starting to come down. It was spinning like a top, producing a tornado west of Columbus. Still have this supercell thunderstorm near Bean Blossom, Indiana, north of Bloomington there. They have a tornado warning on that. A Doppler radar indicated tornado. It's on the southern end of this line, so it's got a lot of that instability that it can take in and maintain its strength. So we'll watch that one as it moves across northern parts of Monroe County, northern parts of Bartholomew County there, or rather Brown County, eventually north of Columbus. So that's one we'll keep an eye on. Could that eventually impact the tri-state? Perhaps. But overall, boy, oh boy, I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing out here. We have a tornado watch for the entire area that is going to run officially until 3. I think the threat's going to be over well before that. I want to show you our modeling again, and these models continue to update, hourly. And as we talked about, it looks like the modeling is kind of overdoing the intensity of that first line. It does show some more storms perhaps impacting the southern half of our viewing area between 10 and 11 o'clock tonight, moving off to the southeast. And then it's got things pretty quiet by around midnight. So let's hope we get these storms in and out of here really quickly. But that's what we're looking at right now, officially on the board. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Butler County still under that severe thunderstorm warning officially. All of Butler County under the severe thunderstorm warning here until 9 o'clock. Fayette and Union County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning too up here, and we'll bring those back on. So Fayette County, there's your severe thunderstorm warning for the Connorsville area. That's going to expire here around 8:45. So in the next 2 minutes, it looks like that severe thunderstorm warning is going to expire. Good news there. And again, back into Butler County, we've got a little while to go for these storms that are moving through places like Hamilton, that are moving through New Miami into the 7 Mile. I mean, we're getting hit hard in Hamilton right now. Heavy rain, frequent lightning right there. And again, we could see some stronger wind gust with this, but let's come in and take a look at that right now as we look at what the winds are doing here. Yeah, and again, nothing that's too concerning right there. There's definitely some heavy rain coming through there. But I'm not seeing any huge winds right now. We'll have to keep an eye on these, though, as they lift through Butler County, they lift through Warren County tonight. But at this juncture, I am pretty encouraged by what I'm seeing. We'll have to watch that line of storms back around Evansville. I'm thinking this one is going to stay just south of the Cincinnati area. I don't think we're going to see any northward extension to those storms as they come through the Evansville area right now, where there's a confirmed tornado now south of Evansville, where you see that purple polygon there. That is a confirmed tornado. But boy, oh boy, I think, Eric, we got the 275 deflector shields going here, deflecting them up to the north, deflecting them to the south right now. And that is certainly a good thing. But officially, we got that warning that's going to go for Butler County. And I'm taking a look here at some of the data that we're getting in right now. And it looks like, again, they're going to keep that. What could be some hail that's going here now as we look at this. Let me check that. Yeah, looks like around New Miami, we got a little hail that is being detected right there. So that's why I think that's why they're still keeping this warning up for Butler County, the possibility of hail, winds to 60 possible. I'm not seeing anything, though, that is approaching that right now. Looks like we just had a new warning come down just south of our area. Thank goodness. That one for Scott County, Kentucky. So that is just south of our area. So looking at these warnings as they move through, severe thunderstorm warning for Butler County, Fayette, and Union County with this cluster as it continues to exit to the north and east. And I think this, as it moves into Warren County, could it prompt another warning? Maybe, if that hail core grows a little bit. I do want to take a look. It looks like it is kind of growing there, though, around New Miami. Yeah, and they just issued a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. So I thought that was going to happen. This is a brand new warning, and I think it's because of that hail core that is growing there. So this one, this brand new severe thunderstorm warning is going to cover Butler, Montgomery, and Warren County. It looks like it's going to go over into Clinton County too until 9:30 tonight. So that is 60-mile-an-hour winds, the possibility of 1-inch hail with this storm. So let's take everything off here right now. And so get rid of these warning boxes. You're going to see it. So the rest of Butler County into Warren County, now over into Clinton County. It's the far northwestern section of Clinton County. That is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for winds up to 60 miles per hour with this storm and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. So this is the section of the storm. I'm going to give you a storm track here that they're concerned with. This one's moving at about 60. So it's picked up a little bit of steam there as it's moving across Butler County. So this is going to impact Middletown. This is going to impact Lebanon, Waynesville, Gurneyville, Wilmington, Clarksville. So here are some arrival times. Liberty Township, 8:52. Monroe, 8:53. Clear Creek Township, around 9:01. Lebanon, 9:03. Waynesville, around 9:08. Spring Valley, 9:12. Vernon Township, 9:17. And Wilmington, your arrival, around 9:23. So winds to 60 miles an hour, the possibility of hail up to 1 inch in diameter. That hail core looks like it's growing to me, Eric. Yeah. What are you seeing over there?
I think that as long as we are still out ahead of this main line here back to the west, we're still going to see these storms kind of pulse severe. And that means that while things are looking pretty decent, at least with respect to certainly the way they were in Indiana, we are not clear yet. We are not out of the woods just yet. We're actually starting to see that hail core grow, just as you mentioned there, especially in that northern section of Butler County. Hamilton seeing really intense rainfall rates right now. By the way, if you have any pictures, don't forget Local 12/chime in. We'd love to see them and certainly share them with all of our viewers out there. Areas north where we're seeing that greatest development here, and even in that last, just kind of watch that loop go by in the last hour, kind of the evolution of these storms, where this one lost its energy over Columbus, Indiana, with that confirmed tornado on the ground there. So that cell weakened, but look at where the energy went. As all of this is quickly moving east, especially in the upper level energy there with our upper level wind shear, look at how in that last maybe 10 minutes or so, seeing some of these cells there in Butler County come to life with some intense updrafts. So with hail, you need some really strong updrafts to support that, and that's exactly what we are seeing. Just a good reminder here, some of the hail sizes. We've already seen reports here really over 1 inch, 1.5 inches in diameter, and what's really even unfathomable, we've seen actually some reports out in Missouri near St. Louis close to 2 to 3 inches. That's bigger than baseball size hail falling down there. So that's what exactly they saw that posed some catastrophic damage out there. Thankfully, we're not seeing at least that type of hail here, but we are going to see some pretty intense rates there up in Hamilton County. So I'm going to just pause the radar here for you. You can see that we are starting to see this cell continuing to push now towards Middletown, New Miami, and really knock on the door of Warren County. This would not be a good time to travel on I-71 north, certainly at this time, John.
Yeah, I flipped that storm on its side here, Eric. So we've taken a 3D view of this storm near New Miami, and where you see the purple, that is the hail core that's setting up with this thing. So I want to kind of give you an idea of how high the storm is towering. We've got the lines here on the screen here. So this thing is going over 40,000 feet, close to 50,000 feet in the atmosphere. And the hail core on this going to about 25,000 feet. So that hail is being lofted up in that thunderstorm about 25,000 feet above the surface of the ground there. So that is one of the reasons that the Weather Service has gone ahead and issued this severe thunderstorm warning, basically for the fact that this thing is likely producing some hail up there right now. So let's take everything back here, and I'm going to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. And yeah, it looks like we definitely have A hail core right there between Monroe, New Miami into LaSwordsville. Hamilton kind of on the north end of this hail core right now. So let's do some estimates here. And again, as you look at this, you know, some of these are a little bit old. The radar's kind of catching up here, but it was estimating about half-inch size hail, which would not be severe hail. That would be below severe criteria there, but the Weather Service warning for hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And again, you can see how that doesn't quite match up with what radar is showing right now. So it looks like, again, up here around New Miami, coming into LaSwordsville. Now, the possibility of hail, half-inch, maybe up to 1 inch in diameter. And that's what they're warning on right now. I think the main threat with this storm is going to be that hail core, as it's moving at like 60 miles an hour here, this storm, coming across Warren County, and we're going to kind of put a track on that hail core. So, you know, if you're in the path of this, you might want to get your car under cover if you can, if it's safe to do so, if you don't have lightning around. Monroe, 854, Lemon Township, 856, Turtle Creek Township around 859, Lebanon, 902, Dodds, 905, Waynesville, 909, and Massey Township around 913. With the arrival of perhaps some hail there with that thunderstorm that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning now for Warren County, Butler County, over into Clinton County. That's going to run until 9:30. It looks like some of this hail could come up, could clip the south side of Middletown right now. It's coming across Ohio 4 there, coming across 127 into LaSwordsville, into the Monroe area now, Liberty Township on the edge of that. And it looks like the hail core might be growing a little bit. We're starting to see some of those lighter shades of purple showing up right now. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on that storm. I want to come back to our tower cam. And let's see, that is our Oxford cam right now. And you can see some frequent lightning there going on in Oxford. That is a live view. And I want to come back. I'm watching out of the corner of my eye, our camera here on top of the Radisson. And well, let me step out of the way. I'm going to show you. Yeah, that's what I want to show folks, the intense lightning from those storms that are working there through northern parts of Butler. Yeah, boy, oh boy. That storm's got some intense lightning with it. I'm going to see if I can swing this camera over a little bit live on the air and show you some of that intense lightning that's coming out of that storm. Yeah, right there, looking at the Brent Spence Bridge. And we have been seeing some pretty intense lightning right around that section of the sky right there. So we'll set it up right there and take a look at it. But that is the storm that is moving now through Butler County, sliding over into Warren County right now. There it is, boy. That is some intense lightning right there coming out of that storm as seen from downtown Cincinnati right now. So a lot of lightning with these things as they're moving across the tri-state tonight. And again, severe thunderstorm warnings continue in effect for the northern part of our viewing area. We're back to that storm around LaSwordsville, moving toward Monroe right now. The likelihood of hail there, that could be upwards of 1 inch in diameter coming across that. Just got a report in of trees down in your Sunman, Indiana, in northern Ripley County. So Franklin County Emergency Management actually reporting that. So that wouldn't surprise me based on what we saw earlier. But boy, we're getting hit hard now into the eastern half of Butler County, around Monroe, around Princeton, coming toward LaSwordsville, New Miami. That is the storm that we're seeing from downtown Cincinnati that is lighting up the sky right now. The likelihood of hail there moving into the Monroe area, where you are under a severe thunderstorm warning here that's going to go until 9:30 tonight. Haven't looked at the hail estimates. Yeah, that's grown. So that's about what I would expect out of this right now. So let's take a look at what we have here. And yeah, now it's over 1 inch in diameter is what we're showing here. Coming into the server of the LaSwordsville area. Now this hail detection algorithm runs slightly behind of real time because it's got to process the data there. But we're going to come back to that. And yeah, it's over LaSwordsville. So hail over 1 inch in diameter possible with that thunderstorm now right over the LaSwordsville area coming into Monroe. So, you know, if you could get your car, have your car under shelter or cover, might be a good idea. 1 inch hail can do some damage there as it's coming out of Warren or coming out of Butler County into Warren County. South of Middletown now is where we are seeing this hail core kind of coming across Warren County. So there it is, Monroe, Turtle Creek Township, 11 and Dodge, Waynesville, all in the path of this between now and around 9:13. Massey Township, 9:17. Vernon Township, right around 9:20 for a time of arrival there. So that's what we're looking at right now. And okay, we've got Tyler Madden now in Pentown, Indiana. That's where we had a report of a wind gust or a measurement of a wind gust to around 74 miles an hour. So this is just a picture. Tyler's out there, but this is from the Pentown, Indiana area there. And you can see, I mean, we're going to have a lot of this where the trees are down, you know, roads are going to be blocked. But this is from around Pentown, Indiana, where we had some reports of some downed trees. And again, we've had some reports of those back in Indiana as well, around the Sunman area too, reports of trees down there. But this is around Pentown where we've seen, again, some trees reported down there with these storms that have moved through. But the main storm that we're concentrating on right now continues to move out of Butler County and across Warren County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 9:30 this evening with this storm that's moving right up here. I mean, right across eastern Butler County coming into Monroe, LaSwordsville. That's where we have, it looks like a pretty good hail core that continues to move across that section of the county. Again, we expand the view here. All the activity running north of downtown Cincinnati right now. That is where the severe storms are located. We're watching this line back to the west, south of Indianapolis. This may come back in and clip parts of the area later tonight. And there's a big line down here around Evansville, Indiana. We're hopeful that one is going to stay down to the south and kind of split the area tonight. That would be good news, obviously, if it does. There's the bigger view. That first cluster coming through right now, prompting the severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. More clusters of storms running through southern Indiana. So we got kind of a split here coming across the area tonight, which is good news for us. I'm hoping that kind of limits the severe weather for parts of the area. But this storm still means business up here as it's working through portions of Warren County and back into sections of Butler County. You've got a severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until around 9:30. So estimates on hail from the Weather Service saying between 1 inch and 1 3/4 inches with the hail for this storm. So, you know, you're looking at anywhere from quarter-sized hail to golf ball-sized hail there with that storm. As it's moving through portions of Warren County and Butler County right now. So it's, it's somewhere between quarter size, maybe up to golf ball size. I don't think it's going to be quite that big based on our estimates. Their estimates are showing a little bit higher, but right around Monroe, coming into Middletown right now, that's where we're seeing, again, some of that hail. It's approaching I-75 right now up into the Middletown area. It's going to move over toward the Red Lion area there into Warren County. So we can give you another track on this storm. It's moving at around 60 miles an hour. And I want to kind of track some of that hail core as it continues across Warren County, eventually making its way over into Clinton County. So Turtle Creek Township, 903. Clear Creek Township around 905. Lebanon, 906. Waynesville, 912. Roxana, 915, Spring Valley, Kingman, and Caesars Creek as it moves north out of our viewing area there. But that is the main storm that we're concerned with right now as we track these storms moving across the area that have been producing severe wind gusts and even some large hail. But it's Butler County, it is Warren County right now that are getting hit with these storms the heaviest of the storms. And again, they're going to make their way over into Clinton County here within the next half hour, where that severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 9:30 tonight. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Butler County and Warren County. 60-mile-an-hour winds. They've got the hail estimate up to 1.25 inches in diameter right now. So hail estimate up to 1.25 inches in diameter with that storm as it's moving through parts of Warren County and Butler County, eventually over into Clinton County right now. All right, Local 12's Tyler Madden joins us right now out in the Pentown area. And Tyler, we've had a lot of reports of trees down. We had a weather station out there report a wind gust over 70 miles an hour. What are you seeing out there?
Hey, John, we ran into a firefighter as we were coming down, heading from the west side of Cincinnati here, crossing over into Indiana. And he said there are reports of multiple trees down and power lines. Going to step out of the way. There's already a crew that is trying to put a dent in some of the damage that these strong winds cause. You can see there's your crew down there with those flashing lights, first responders down there. You can hear a chainsaw. A big tree came down on some power lines there, blocking the road from folks that are unable to get up and down this road. Again, that firefighter told me multiple reports of trees down, and then just up the road from there here, massive tree down in this driveway here. Talked to the homeowners. They said they are okay. They said that they're heading back down to their basement, traumatized really about just hearing the crash of that. So some really strong winds have made their way through here. And as we were traveling out of Cincinnati through the west side here to Indiana, that rain continuing to pick up along with those heavy winds. But even as this storm is moving through, those damage assessments reports are continuing to come in, and crews are already trying to put a dent in some of this damage. John, back to you.
All right, Tyler Madden reporting live tonight outside of Pentown, Indiana, where we have a lot of trees reported down tonight. And those reports are going to continue to trickle in tonight with these storms. But the worst of them, again, are moving north of Cincinnati now through Butler and Warren County, where we could have hail perhaps 1 inch or bigger in diameter that is moving across that area right now. There's some of those reports that are beginning to come in, and these kind of filter in late. But you can see back through Indiana, lots of reports of large hail, reports of confirmed tornadoes. There's a report of a confirmed tornado just to the west of Columbus, Indiana, a little bit earlier. We have a tornado watch that is going to go through 3 o'clock in the morning around here. I'm hoping the threat ends well before that, but certainly at this juncture, the biggest weather continues to move through Butler County and Warren County, where we're seeing hail, where you see the purple shading on radar up here coming out of the Monroe Middletown area, eventually making its way, it looks like, north of Lebanon here toward Pekin there. We've got some purple on the map, Clear Creek Township. These are the spots that have the possibility of picking up that hail 1 inch or better in diameter as that storm moves across Warren County. Your severe thunderstorm warning there for Warren County, for the far southeastern section of Butler County, and for Clinton County is going to go until 9:30 tonight. So 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1.25 inch hail. We got over 1 million people that are impacted by that warning tonight as it carries up into Montgomery County as well. Severe thunderstorm warning there until 9:30 tonight. I want to give you an idea of the modeling, and we want to show you the latest modeling as far as how the rest of the night is going to evolve here now. So there's the first little batch of storms moving out. We could see some more storms impacting the southern half, in particular, the viewing area here later on this evening. And you can see through 10, 11 o'clock, southeast of Cincinnati may become the spot we need to keep an eye on with some storms moving through. But it looks like by midnight or just after midnight, that threat may come to an end. So that would be good news there as the storms eventually begin to move out. But that is the latest high resolution modeling we're looking at on how this is going to evolve. We're certainly watching these storms in southern Indiana, western Kentucky. So those would be the next storms of concern. The models kind of bring them right up to the edge of our area later tonight. So as this first cluster moves out, it's that next cluster that we're going to be keeping an eye on here that is running through southern Indiana. But I'm hopeful again that this stays just south of the viewing area. It may clip some of our northern Kentucky counties over the next few hours here as those storms race off to the east, coming out of the Evansville area, eventually heading over toward the south side of Louisville. But at this juncture, again, I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing right now. We've got a report coming in from National Weather Service chat here. Yeah, I-75 and State Route 122, we've got severe hail being reported right now. So yeah, we definitely are seeing that up here into Butler County and Warren County. So this is what we're seeing with some of these purples on the map that are moving across this area. It's hail over an inch or up to an inch in diameter, some large hail with this storm. So that's exactly what our concern has been. It looks like, though, the estimate on this has come down a little bit. That is the estimate as we put this on here. You can see here north of Monroe, we're getting, some estimates of about 1 inch hail here north of Monroe. So that is where that report is coming from. That storm is definitely producing some hail up to an inch in diameter there, where it is prompted this severe thunderstorm warning for Butler County and for Warren County that goes until 9:30. So it looks like we continue to get some reports that are coming down right now. And that's just north of our area, reports of more trees down as you get up toward the Dayton, Ohio area. Now, Eric, we've got a bad storm that's working through Butler County and Warren County, but I am encouraged by what we're seeing. And I'm told we've just got a live picture from Westchester right now. Let's take a look at that. And that's part of that storm up there that is moving through Butler County. Westchester kind of right on the edge of this thing here. Westchester into the Wetherington area, perhaps a little hail there in Liberty Township. And this is near Tylersville Road there into the Westchester area. So right on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning is where this picture is coming from, right there at the Bob Evans. You guys know where that is. Right there at Tylersville Road. That is where we're getting this picture in right now. And you folks right there in Westchester at Tylersville are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30 tonight for the possibility of 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1 inch hail there in Westchester. Doesn't look like a ton of wind there, certainly a lot of rain, but the Westchester area is kind of sitting right on the edge of this storm. Frequent lightning now coming out of that storm, and that appears to be the biggest threat right now with that storm that's moving through Westchester, Liberty Township into the Wetherington area. That storm is moving over toward Mason too, so we're zoomed in right here into the Westchester area, and that's the storm we're talking about moving toward the Mason area. We got to watch this. You know, you look at this, the way this storm is configured. I'm going to stop the radar right now. And we got to keep an eye on the back of these things with the way the atmosphere is set up. Every once in a while, we can get a little bit of a spin up that occurs with these things. But looking at radar right now, I'm seeing some broad rotation there, but I'm not seeing anything that really stands out and has me worried. So we're going to keep an eye on that storm. But again, I started to send it over to Eric to talk about what's transpiring here. We've got this moderate risk on the map from Cincinnati to points south and west. If this is a moderate risk, I'll take it all day because so far so good. We may have had some trees down from some possible tornado damage in Indiana earlier from that circulation. We don't know if it was a tornado or wind, but overall, not too bad.
Whenever you don't see this that often, first and foremost here, when we are elevated to that 4 out of 5, that red risk for us here in the tri-state. It already happened twice this spring, actually, that Wednesday in early April, and where we saw several tornadoes out of that. So all things considering for this, we're looking fairly decent, even though some spots are getting hit pretty hard right now with heavy rain and some of that hail as well. What I mean, though, we really have been dodging these, and that's really the most important note for us, because obviously they do cause the most damage in a hurry here, as to homes, trees, whatnot, power lines. But not so much for central parts of Indiana, western parts of Indiana, especially Greene County and even down through Columbus, Indiana as well. Several reports of confirmed tornadoes. What's really, really interesting, I said this earlier, but follow this line actually, where there were several of those purple polygons, and we did see even in and around the Bloomington area as well. And all that moved east into the Columbus area. On the other side of I-65 and I-69, where there is multiple reports there of tornadoes. And as I mentioned here, follow this out, because those confirmed tornadoes were actually moving east, maybe slightly northeast, right around 45 to 50 miles per hour. What's interesting about that is if you were to follow that line, it actually meets right in Hamilton area, and even now going into parts of Warren County. And that's exactly where we're seeing the worst of the storms right now. So all that energy is still picking up. Not seeing tornadoes, thankfully, but we are seeing some very heavy rainfall rates, a lot of lightning, and of course some of that hail, some of which does constitute severe category, and that could certainly damage cars and roofs and whatnot. But right now, seeing some of that, we did see that hail core really peak in the last 10-15 minutes. Now we're seeing it go the other way. Give it 10 or 15 minutes more, and I think we're going to see it peak right in this same spot here, maybe east of the Waynesville area, up into Clinton County as well, is kind of what that trend has been. So still technically seeing for all of those storms, those severe thunderstorm warnings, but not so much of those red polygons here, those tornado warnings, and really none across the entire region for what is confirmed on the ground at the moment, which is good news right now for us, certainly. Seeing less lightning strikes here from our tower cam, but a lot of lightning over the last 10-15 minutes or so. And as I mentioned, we're doing fairly well overall with this storm system, considering that 4 to 5 risk, but we're not done yet. Even though these the worst of the storms to our north, we're not going to be done until we see this actual cold front push through in the next few hours. Once that does push through there, say 11 o'clock, right around midnight or so, even in our far southern counties, that's where we are still going to see that risk set up. That's where we're still talking about some really unstable air that we have to watch some of those supercells for rotation there for any potential tornadoes, because there's still some rotation out there in central Indiana, John, that we're going to be watching here until that front moves through in a couple hours.
Yeah, but we still have some time to watch here. This storm up here coming out of Butler County into Warren County, producing winds estimated now over 50 miles an hour up there. So they're close to severe level. We'd consider 58 or greater severe level. So they're right there on the threshold of severe. And this pocket I'm talking about is right here coming between Liberty Township and Mason. Looks like it's coming right across 42 there. So I kind of back this up and you can see this pocket of winds coming out of Liberty Township that is going to move off to the east here. So I want to give kind of an estimate of when this is going to reach certain areas here across Warren County. And again, these are 50+ mile-an-hour winds coming through Turtle Creek Township, Warren County, John Lane Field there around 9:15, Avalon Heights right around 9:16, Lebanon 9:17, Lebanon High School 9:19, Oregonia around 9:22, Fort Ancient State Memorial 9:23, and Vandervoort's Corners right around 9:28. So those are the stronger winds. We also just got a report of some hail about 1 inch in diameter, a mile southeast of Middletown, which matches what we have seen on radar with this storm. So that was about a mile southeast of Middletown. So some hail, certainly some wind with this storm. And again, this is the biggest storm that we're watching right now, moving through Warren County, coming into the Lebanon area. It looks like it's almost out of Butler County, still kind of hanging on there in Liberty Township and around Monroe, but coming into Lebanon now. You've got some heavy rain, as Eric mentioned. It looks like the hail core has started to go away for now, but these storms pulse up and they pulse down. So that may come back here with this storm moving through Warren County into Clinton County tonight. And it is a severe warned storm there. Still hanging on to that warning down into the Westchester area and Monroe, right on the edge of it for a little while longer. You're right on the edge of that severe warned storm. This thing has shown some rotation in the mid-level. So you're probably wondering, okay, John, you've got a 60-mile-an-hour, severe thunderstorm with 1 inch hail. That's on the edge of the criteria. Well, one of the reasons we're staying with this right now is because it has shown some signs of mid-level rotation here. Again, a tornado not imminent at this point, but with the way the atmospheric setup is tonight, that's why we have a tornado watch in effect. Any of these stronger storms with these stronger updrafts that are producing the hail, these things can rotate. They can potentially produce tornadoes. This one in no danger of doing that right now, but we're just keeping an eye on it because you'll notice it's got kind of this kidney bean shape that we're seeing here with this little inflow notch coming into it. So on the back of it here, we're just going to keep a close eye on that as it continues to work through Warren and Clinton County. And that's why the Weather Service, again, has this part of the tri-state under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30. So we kind of take away everything, and you can see that little sliver of Butler across most of Warren County from Waynesville and then crossing over to Clarksville and into the Wilmington area, Gurneyville, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning, and it does continue to the north up through Montgomery County and Greene County as well, where you folks too are under this severe thunderstorm warning. So this is just one we want to keep an eye on here as it's moving through Warren County. Just keep a close watch on this thing as it's sliding through the Lebanon area right now. Heavy rain, a whole lot of lightning around the Lebanon area as this storm continues to move through. I want to do another lightning counter right now. We kind of back this up a little bit, and the number of strikes here coming in at over 360 strikes. 365 there is what it's counting here in the last 15 minutes with that cluster of storms moving north of Cincinnati. Another cluster we're going to have to watch back here between Indianapolis and Connorsville right now. That one is prompting severe thunderstorm warnings again between Indianapolis and Connorsville over into Rush County, Indiana. So we've got just the atmosphere is loaded with energy tonight. So even though these areas have already seen storms, we're seeing more storms working through those same locations again. So this warning may eventually be extended over into Fayette County and into Union County, Indiana. That is a possibility, but it looks like with this one, they've been warning, well, that's the one down to the south there, going south of Franklin. They're warning on winds to 60, 1-inch hail for that one. Let's come into this northern one. And yeah, winds to 60, 1.25-inch hail. So the hail a little bit larger than the minimum severe threshold there. So we're going to watch that storm. It may eventually impact Fayette, Union, eventually Franklin County. We could see some more storms coming back in. But just to give the big reset right now, we have one severe thunderstorm warning that is up for Warren County and Clinton County that's going to be in effect until 9:30. Another cluster of storms we're going to be watching coming up from the southwest that may impact some of our southern counties. And then this next little cluster coming east of Indianapolis that may again impact some of our northern counties here. So that is certainly something we're going to have to keep an eye on there with those storms. And again, I think, Eric, the reason I still want to look at this is because the shape of this storm is such, it has my attention. And you're looking at the velocities on that right now.
Yeah, and we're still seeing some of that rotation now. First, it was kind of broad rotation in Hamilton County, moving into Warren County. Of course, more the focus, of course, on the hail, the very intense rainfall rates. But really, in the last few minutes or so, or a few scans, starting to see at least some better rotation. So still a tornado warning is entirely possible out of this particular storm, out of this particular supercell, right around the Lebanon area, actually, right around Turtle Creek Township, going down US 48 here. And this is where we're starting to see, maybe in the last couple of frames or so, some of that mixing of the red and green colors. Again, they have not officially issued that tornado warning yet, but certainly this does bear watching. And as we've seen, and as we've been saying, that this is certainly a severe thunderstorm, given just how much hail we've already seen fall out of this. And this note, once again, this is all of the energy back through Indiana, where they did have those confirmed tornadoes. They are meeting right in this sweet spot here in the northern sections of the tri-state here for our Ohio counties. So this will bear watching for well, as long as this is still in our viewing area, but certainly we're going to see this continue for that severe thunderstorm warning. And again, that 1.25 inches in diameter in hail is still going to be our biggest threat for the moment. But just a heads up, we are still seeing at least signs of strengthening rotation here. So a tornado warning is not off the table with this storm quite yet, John.
Yeah, and they just issued a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Speaking of that storm right now, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch diameter hail. This is going to continue for Clinton, Greene, and Warren counties until 10 o'clock tonight. So that is the storm that we've been focusing on here. And as Eric mentioned, it's taken on some characteristics where we just got to keep an eye on it. Again, they don't have the tornado possible tag on or anything like that, so the Weather Service isn't immediately concerned that it's going to produce a tornado, but winds to 60 miles an hour, the possibility of 1-inch hail with this storm as it continues to work there through Warren County into Clinton County. It's going to carry over northern Highland County too, so northern Highland County is included in this latest warning, and they've got the forecast on this thing coming across those counties at around 50 miles an hour is what we're seeing. So let's give you kind of a track of where this thing is going to go as it comes through those locations there. So Morrow around 9:22, Vernon Township around 9:30, Wilmington around 9:34, Sabina 9:44, Glendon around 9:49, Washington Courthouse as it carries out of our area there around 9:56, Leesburg 9:59, and New Holland around 10:07 with that brand new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. That covers Warren County, Clinton County, and the far, far northern section there of Highland County. I want to come back to the velocity mode here of radar. And yeah, so there's some little sections here that we're seeing near Mason. We're picking up some bigger winds here with this thing. So that has prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. So yeah, we'll start picking up severe winds here. Right around Mason, coming into the Lebanon area, radar's picking up winds of around 58 miles an hour. This would be just off the surface, up aloft here. But again, that's enough of a signature there that has folks there at the Weather Service concerned that they're going to go ahead and extend that warning across Warren County and Clinton County. So that's where we're seeing some of those winds coming toward the radar. Just under 60 miles an hour. Some little pockets of winds coming into Mason, coming into South Lebanon here. Hegman there, right along 48. That's where we're seeing some of these stronger winds crossing right over the Hegman area just south of there, 42 and 741, where they come together. So this is where we're picking up severe winds out of the storm right now, and that's why it has prompted another severe thunderstorm warning for Warren, Clinton, and the northern part of Highland County there. And not to mention that still the possibility of some hail out of this, although we're not seeing any huge hail signature on radar right now. We still have kind of that kidney bean shape to the storm, which I don't like, but that's just a function of the wind shear that's in the atmosphere tonight. So these things trying to rotate, and this one has been showing some mid-level rotation here as it comes through these areas tonight through Warren County into Clinton County. So that's my concern, that this storm is going to try to rotate. But there it is, hail being detected around the Lebanon area. It looks like it's come down, though, quite a bit now, so that's good news. Yeah, so that's smaller, not the over 1 inch estimates that we had earlier. So that's what we suspect, that hail is less of a threat now, that wind with this thing is more of a threat. And I want to look at the storm relative velocity, look at the winds within this thing, and just when you get these little curls here to these wind fields, you got to kind of watch that, because you can get a brief little spin up there. Again, nothing that looks overly concerning there with that storm. It's just the shape of it and the atmospheric setup that we have tonight coming through. So I'm trying to watch out for you folks up here in Warren County and Clinton County with this storm. But at the very least, you could see wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, and perhaps some smaller hail. Looks less than an inch in diameter, but as Eric mentioned, it could pulse back up again. It looks like that is happening here between Lebanon and South Lebanon. Perhaps a little more hail being detected where you see those purple shadings coming up there. So those are the spots that we're watching right now with that storm. I want to give you kind of a reset of what's going on across the rest of the tri-state. We've got some more showers popping up over the greater Cincinnati area. Nothing that is severe right now. We've got this storm that's trying to go up around the Harrison area right now. We've got some lightning with that's just starting to show up, coming out of northern Dearborn County, moving into northwest Hamilton County. It's going to clip southern Butler County too. Again, not severe, but some lightning and thunder with that that we're looking at. And then just kind of keeping an eye, as Eric was mentioning, on this line back to the west of Louisville as it carries across. It may eventually impact some of our northern Kentucky counties a little bit later this evening. And there are tornado warnings, with that line. They're radar indicated, but still those storms are showing signs of rotation tonight as they're moving through portions of southern Indiana now into western Kentucky. So those are the things that we're keeping our eyes on. And of course, this next line of storms coming into the northwest part of our viewing area that has prompted severe thunderstorm warnings back here through portions of Rush County, Indiana. That storm eventually is going to impact Fayette County and may clip Union County too. It looks like that one stays north of Franklin County, but there's another one here that may eventually get into Franklin County that could, again, prompt yet another severe thunderstorm warning. But the biggest issues we're seeing right now are with these storms coming through Butler, Warren, and Clinton County, where we continue to have a severe thunderstorm warning that it's in effect for places up here like Oregonia, like Hickoryville, like Wilmington, Waynesville, you folks under the severe thunderstorm warning back to Lebanon, South Lebanon, for this storm that's moving through, producing frequent lightning, perhaps winds up to 60 miles an hour, and even a little bit of hail there still possible with that storm. We can kind of determine the strength of these storms by looking at our lightning counter here. So we kind of take a look at how much lightning is involved with this cluster of storms. And we've got over 170 lightning strikes there in the past 15 minutes there. So that is pretty potent, pretty indicative, I would say, of a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued here for this storm coming through Warren County into Clinton County right now, approaching the Clarksville area, approaching Gurneyville, and approaching the Wilmington area. Let's get another track on this thing as it slides off to the southeast. This thing's moving at about 50 miles an hour. Moving kind of east-southeast a little bit, so it's going to carry over through Clinton County, Clarksville around 9:28, Vernon Township 9:30, Wilmington around 9:31, Wilmington Clinton Field, I should say, Wilmington around 9:35, Burtonville 9:39, Wilson Township 9:41, Morrisville 9:43, and Sabina around 9:45. Prepare for winds up to 60 miles an hour and the possibility of a little bit of hail with that, but again, that threat appears to have come down now. There is some hail that is showing up there on radar, but not like it was with this storm a little bit earlier. But that is the main storm of concern that's moving through Warren County and moving through Clinton County right now as that storm moves through. There are some more storms down here that have been clipping parts of Mason County, Kentucky. Again, nothing severe, nothing that we're overly concerned with. The tornado watch in effect for the area. This is officially in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm hoping the severe threat is going to end well before that tonight. So that is something we're hoping actually happens. There's a look at our latest modeling data. I'm going to bring that back up tonight, and we continue to see this model updating constantly. So by 10 o'clock, that first round of storms is going to be moving out of our northeastern counties, but that stuff we talked about west of Louisville may eventually impact parts of northern Kentucky between, say, 10, 11 o'clock, and the latest modeling is kind of showing that stuff perhaps getting a little more intense between 10 and 11 o'clock tonight, and then by midnight out through our southeast counties, and then after midnight coming to an end. So it looks like the threat roughly is going to go until about midnight, even though they have the tornado watch going a little bit longer than that. So that's the second thing we need to watch. We got this first cluster that continues to impact our northeastern counties. It's that next cluster, and you can see down here in southern Indiana, severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, radar indicated tornado warnings continue with that next line. So that's the one that may come across our southern counties over the next few hours that we're going to have to keep a close eye on here. I continue to monitor reports coming in here tonight, and you know, it looks like at this juncture we have a lot of reports of down trees. We had that report of a wind gust that was over 70 miles an hour there out around Pentown. It looks like at this juncture we don't have a lot of other reports coming in, which is good news tonight with these storms as they continue to push through. This storm that is moving out of Warren County into Clinton County right now, we will continue to keep an eye on that storm. We will run more information across your screen as needed. We'll come back on and break in the programming as needed. But for now, again, we're comfortable in sending you back the programming. We'll keep an eye on that storm, but still expect some rough weather there through eastern parts of Warren County over into Clinton and northern Highland County, where you have a severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. So you got about another half hour to go with that warning, and we could see again some warnings issued back across portions of southeast Indiana, severe thunderstorm warnings. If there's anything dangerous, we'll come back on programming. Otherwise, we're going to keep an eagle eye on this storm, and if we see anything of concern, we will come back on. But for now, let's get you back to regular programming. Don't forget, we'll have a complete wrap up on Local 12 News at 10 on Star 64. And again,